Thank you, Shopnadi. I'll start with the chant and then we take it from there. Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityurma Amritam Gamaya Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om, lead us from the unreal to the real. Lead us from darkness unto light. Lead us from death to immortality. Om, peace, peace, peace. Namaste and good evening and welcome everybody. So this was supposed to be a small, intimate gathering, a satsang. And so my idea was, yes, a discussion, a little bit of informal discussion. My idea was, let me read out a little bit, a couple of things I was reading yesterday, and then I'll say a few things, and then you can give comments, you can ask questions. So that's what we'll do. All right. Couple of things. One is, I was reading from Swami Vivekananda. This is from Talks with a Disciple, Talks with Swami Vivekananda, a disciple, Sharat Chandra Chakravarti. He maintained a diary. So he would talk to Swami Vivekananda in India, in Belur Math, and then he would go back home and write it down. So that's the diary. We are reading from the diary. So this is one particular place I was reading yesterday. Swami Vivekananda quotes from the Ashtavakra Samhita. First, I'll read out what's written in the book itself, in the diary, and then we will talk about it. Swami Vivekananda says, the Shastra Ashtavakra Samhita says, Mukta abhimani mukto hi baddho baddhamimani api kim vadanti satyayam yamati sa gatir bhavet. He who thinks himself free, free he becomes. He who thinks himself bound, bound he remains. This popular saying is true. As one thinks, so one becomes. Yamati sa gatir bhavet. All right, I'm commenting, so let me just finish reading what he says. So Swami Vivekananda goes on saying, he alone who is always awake to the idea of freedom becomes free. He who thinks he is bound endures life after life in the state of bondage. It is a fact. This truth holds good both in spiritual and temporal matters. Those who are always downhearted and dispirited in this life can do no work. From life to life they come and go, wailing and moaning. Veera Bhogya Vasundhara, the earth is enjoyed by heroes. This is the unfailing truth. Be a hero. Always say, I have no fear. Tell this to everybody, have no fear. Fear is death, fear is sin, fear is hell, fear is unrighteousness, fear is wrong life. All the negative thoughts and ideas that are in the world have proceeded from this evil spirit of fear. This fear alone has kept the sun, air, and death in their respective places and functions, allowing none to escape from their bounds. Therefore, the Shruti says in Kathopanishad, it says, Bhayadasya agnis tapati, bhayat tapati suryaha, bhayad indrascha vayuscha mrityurdhavati panchamaha. Through the fear of this, fire burns, the sun heats. Through fear, Indra and Vayu are carrying on their functions, and death stalks upon this earth. When the gods Indra, Chandra, Vayu, Varuna will attain to fearlessness, then they will be one with Brahman, and all this phantasm of the world will vanish. Therefore I say, be fearless, be fearless. Swamiji, in saying these words, appeared in the eyes of the disciple like the very embodiment of fearlessness. And he thought, how in his presence even the fear of death leaves one and vanishes into nothingness. Swamiji continued, in this embodied existence, you will be tossed again and again on the waves of happiness and misery, prosperity and adversity, but know them all to be of momentary duration. Never care for them. I am birthless, the deathless Atman, whose nature is intelligence. Implanting this idea firmly in your heart, you should pass the days of your life. I have no birth, no death. I am the Atman, untouched by anything. Lose yourself completely in this idea. If you can once become one with this idea, then in the hour of sorrow and tribulation, it will rise of itself in your mind and you will not have to strive with difficulty to bring it up. The other day, I was a guest of Babu Priyanath Mukherjee at Baidyanath. There I had such a spell of asthma that I felt like dying. But from within, with every breath arose the deep toned sound, I am He, Soham, Soham. Resting on the pillow, I was waiting for the vital breath to depart and observing all the time that from within was being heard the sound of I am He, Soham, Soham. I could hear all along, Ekameva Dvayam Brahma Neha Nanasti Kinchana. That Brahman, the one without a second, alone exists. Nothing manifold exists in the world. And what lines? Powerful. This is the result of Vedanta. You look at someone like Swami Vivekananda, this is the result of Vedanta. He starts with Ashtavakra. This is in Ashtavakra chapter 1 actually. After speaking of the highest Vedanta, Ashtavakra says, simply repeat it to yourself, that I am free. Mukta abhimani mukta hi. The one who says, I am mukta, I am free, will become free. Baddho baddha abhimanyapi. The one who thinks I am bound will remain bound. And Ashtavakra says, this old saying, Ashtavakra itself is so old, so it's saying this old saying is true. Ya mati sa gatir bhavet. Whatever our attitude is, whatever we think, whatever we hold on to in our minds, that will determine our life. That will form and shape our life. And nowadays, it's the age of positive mental attitude. And it is true. It's put in a slightly superficial way, but it embodies a great truth. What I keep alive in my heart, what I keep alive in my mind, that will determine how my life goes. Not so much the world, not so much other people, not so much even my wealth, my learning, my degrees, my job, not so much even my health. Those things are important, but secondary. Most important, and as life goes on, and as age comes, as the body begins to slow down and deteriorate, this mind becomes most important. And if the mind has cultivated this, I am free, I am all right, no matter what. But this no matter what, I am all right, it is easy to shout it, but unless one knows it for sure, just a kind of positive affirmation will not work. As long as we think we are this body, we can't strongly say that no matter what, I am fine. No, the body is not fine. Don't get food for one day, body will become weak. Little disease, little COVID, little this problem, that one, body becomes terribly weak. So if I'm the body, I'm very vulnerable to this world. I can't say I am fine. Even if I'm the mind is also very vulnerable to the world. One harsh word, we'll remember it for the rest of our lives. You said like this. So Vivekananda says, slave to a good word, slave to a bad word. Mind is very delicate. As long as we are body or mind, we think that we are helpless. We are at the mercy of the world. And Vivekananda, that's why he brings up Ashtavakra, Vedanta. And then he goes on. Be a hero, I have no fear, say always. Vivekananda says, he strongly condemns this, fear. In Vedanta, in spiritual life, he says, what is the source of all the problems? We often talk about desire. But Vedanta goes even deeper. Deeper than that. Even behind desire, there is another hidden enemy, more powerful than that, fear. There's a very interesting link between desire and fear. It's only when we think we are limited, we are small beings, fear comes and desire comes after that. In order to complete oneself, in order to protect oneself, in order to become fulfilled, I want. But before that, I am afraid. We don't feel that way. We feel the desire, but we don't feel the fear which is beyond desire. And of course, beyond the fear, deeper than the fear is ignorance. We do not know who we are. We do not know our infinite, ever fulfilled nature. That's why fear. Unlimited oneness. Unlimited oneness. We have got one talk which is coming up called oneness. If you can summarize Vedanta in one word, it would be oneness. That one word means one. But we don't feel that. We feel other, separate. And then separate, either I want, or I am afraid, or I am indifferent. These three. All of them are based on ignorance. If I am one unlimited Atman, what could I want? It is me already. What will I fear? It is me already. Do I fear myself? Indifferent? How can I be indifferent? It is my very own self. Everybody. So, look at the way Swami Vivekananda condemns fear. Have no fear. Fear is death. Fear is sin. Fear is hell. Fear is unrighteousness. Fear is wrong life. Worth meditating on. All negative thoughts and ideas that are in this world have proceeded from fear. This, he says even sin. People do wrong things because they're afraid. People who do evil are weak people. And that weakness comes from fear. Strength and morality go together. The weak can never be good. And then he quotes Upanishad, Kathopanishad. This is a wonderful poetic verse that everything in this universe is going on by the fear of God, the fear of Brahman. Because of the fear of Brahman, the sun is shining, the wind is blowing, the fire is burning, and so on and so forth. Even death is walking on this world and killing people because of, even death is afraid of Brahman. But Swami Vivekananda turns that around. He says, yes, it is true. And the day that these sun and moon and Yamaraj and others, the Lord of Death, they lose their fear, they become fearless, they will realize that they are Brahman, and the world, this Maya will disappear. Brahman alone will exist. Look at what he says. When the gods Indra, Chandra, Vayu, Varuna will attain to fearlessness, then they will be one with Brahman, and all this phantasm of the world will vanish. Therefore I say, be fearless, be fearless. But how? As I said, as body, as mind, as this little person differentiated from everybody else, how can I go beyond fear? Then he explains. One reason of Swami Vivekananda's power was he embodied it. The person who's listening to it, he says, Swamiji in saying these words appeared in the eyes of the disciple like the very embodiment of fearlessness. And this disciple, when listening to Swami Vivekananda, he says, at that time itself I was feeling, in his presence, even the fear of death flies away. His fear of death vanishes into nothingness. He could project that power. So how? And Swamiji answers here, by realizing that you are the Atman, holding on to that you are the Atman. In life, he says, you will be tossed again and again on waves of happiness and misery. They will keep coming. Prosperity and adversity, ups and downs in life. Sri Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Yasmin sthito dukkhena guruna api na vichalyate, being centered in which even the heaviest sorrows cannot shake you. Which means, by the way, the heavy sorrows will keep coming. Even if you're enlightened, even if you're Brahmagyani, we will see how Swami Vivekananda will give an example. Even if you're a Brahmagyani, will sorrows come? Yes. Maybe more. Much then I don't want Brahmagyan. Why will more sorrows come? Because there is a saying that if you are an enlightened person, Brahmagyana, this is your last life. So all your past karma will go away in this life itself. Anyway, so this is what we call, Hindus call Bhavasagar, the ocean of samsara, of being. Ups and downs, waves are coming. How do you face them? Know them all to be of momentary duration. Never care for them. It has come, it exists, it will go away now. Whatever the problem is. Everything will go away. If it has come, it will go. If it was not there earlier, it will not be there afterwards. And it holds true for both the good, pleasant, and the bad or the unpleasant. Both. Pleasant and unpleasant will go away. Anything has arisen will subside. Then what? Then what is the truth then? He says, I am birthless, the deathless Atman, whose nature is consciousness. He says intelligence. In those days, nowadays we keep using the word consciousness, awareness. At that time, Swami Vivekananda used different words. Intelligence or knowledge or consciousness, different words. Implant this idea firmly in your heart and pass the days of your life. Here he has given the formula, the practice for Vedanta. Hold on to this one idea and pass the days of your life. I am the Atman, Soham, I am that. I have no birth, no death. I am the Atman, untouched by anything. Lose yourself completely in this idea. If you can become one with this idea, then he says, what will be the result? In the hour of sorrow and tribulation, when dukkha, suffering will come, as it will come for everybody, it behooves us to be ready to face it. If we are not ready, we will suffer. Then what will happen when sorrow comes? This idea will rise of itself in your mind and you won't have to strive with difficulty to bring it up. Then he gives an example. The other day I was a guest of Babu Priyanath Mukherjee at Baidyanath. Baidyanath means Deoghar. There's a state in India called Jharkhand. Earlier it was Bihar. So Swami Vivekananda went there a number of times. I was very lucky that I started my monastic life there. We have a beautiful ashram, Ramakrishna Mission Vidyapit Deoghar. So it's the same place. Swami Vivekananda went a number of times. Sri Ramakrishna also went there. Ma Sharda also went. It's a Shiva temple there. Baidyanath Dham. Anyway, Swami Vivekananda had a particularly unpleasant experience. So he was suffering from many ailments. Remember, he was only in his late 30s. He used to say, I won't live to see 40. And he passed away. 4th of July is coming. He passed away on 4th of July, 1902. So he says, and I had gone there and I had this experience, asthmatic attack. He says, it was particularly severe. He says, I felt I was dying. But with every breath arose the deep-toned sound, Soham, Soham. Resting on the pillow, he says, I was waiting for the vital breath to depart. That I'm going to die. He was thinking that very soon, this time itself I will die. And what was he doing? He was calmly watching, observing all the time that from within was being heard the sound of Soham, Soham. I could hear all along, Ekameva dvayam brahma neha nanasti kinchana. One Brahman alone exists, Ekam, one. Advayam, no second thing. No second thing means neha nanasti kinchana. Iha, in this experience, here in this life, where I am seeing the body panting with asthmatic attack, breathless, lying on the bed. Here is the room probably. In this, he says, here itself, there is no diversity at all. There is only one immortal reality. One consciousness, one existence, one Satchidananda. Ekam eva dvayam brahma neha nanasti kinchana. There is no second thing here at all. This is how Vedanta will help us. if we look at our own experience, what is this Atman you're talking about? Just a little bit of inquiry into that. Swami Vivekananda used to call it the open secret. If we look at our experience, it's the simplest of all things, really. Truly the open secret. But we are missing it. It's available to us continuously in all our experience. Our nature. We are the Atman. Atman means self. I. What are these big words? Brahman, Satchidananda. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Not theoretically. Not even in belief. See, these are two approaches which will ruin Vedanta. All well with the best of intentions. One is to do it with, as a matter of faith. I am Brahman, Atman. I don't understand these big words. But you are saying so I believe you. Then what will happen is that you will not get the benefit of it. I'm believing something. I heard some nice things, but I'm believing them. But I don't really understand what is meant by that. So Revered Swami Ranganathanandaji used to tell this story that when he was giving a talk in the New Delhi Ramakrishna Mission Ashram, there used to be huge audiences present all the time when he would give a talk. This lady who would sit in the front row, every time he spoke, she would come and diligently sit in the front row and listen. One day he made the mistake of asking her as they were all leaving, how was it? Bahut badhiya Swamiji. It was wonderful. So it's a wonderful talk, Swamiji. And he said, I made the mistake of asking her, so what did you like? And then she said, हम क्या समझे बड़ी वेदांत की बात, लेकिन बहुत बढ़िया था. What do I understand? Big talk, Vedantic talk, but it was all very wonderful. It was all very wonderful. I remember many years ago, decades ago, I gave a talk in our monastery. I was asked to give a talk. I was a novice, a brahmachari in white dress. I gave a talk. And one of my friends, another monastic novice, very simple-hearted soul, very sweet, affectionate person, humorous. He said to me, I'll tell you in Bengali and then translate. খুব ভালো হয়েছে, বুঝতে পারলে আরো ভালো লাগতো. The talk was in English, so that monkey did not know English, so he didn't understand what I said. But he came and praised me nevertheless. He said, it was a very good talk, and if I could understand what you said, I would have liked it even more. So that is accepting it on faith. Oh, you are saying, I am something called Atman, Brahman. Oh, fine, good. I am that. That I don't know what that is, but anyway, something. As you are saying. Then you don't get the benefit of it. Another way of doing it is, again, you don't get the benefit, is to theorize, is to philosophize, is to take it as a nice philosophy I'm learning. And both of these are done with good intention. And they have their place. Because Vedanta also is a philosophy, definitely. In a philosophy textbook, you'll find a chapter on Vedanta. In philosophy departments, they're taught. PhDs after PhDs are given for Vedantic topics. So that's true. It's a philosophy. The thing is, if I have learned Vedanta as a philosophy, I've learned it as a network of words. There's a saying, do your words come from more words or do they come from silence? Silence means from the truth. No, we must, as Americans say, keep it real. The way to get benefit from Vedanta is to keep it real. Keep it real means, here is the trick. Here is the key. Always observe what Vedanta is trying to tell us. Always see for yourself. Notice for yourself. Right now, I will tell you something amazing. When Swami Vivekananda is saying that you are the Atman, Soham, you are birthless, deathless Brahman, one Brahman without a second, all sounds very profound stuff. None of it is beyond our experience right now. If I say, are you having the vision of, like Sri Ramakrishna, vision of Kali? You will say, no. And that's true. It's beyond our experience right now. But this Brahmanubhuti, this Brahman, Satchidananda, is it beyond your Atman, the self? Is it beyond your experience? Not at all. Not at all. It's not an object of our experience, but it's not beyond our experience. It's not something unknown. So it is real, and it's really here. It's here, now, and it is you. Therefore, why should it not be noticeable? Vivekananda says, if God exists, I should be able to see God. If I am the Atman, I should be able to, if I have an immortal soul, I should be able to feel it. So it is, keep it real. I like this example. One sadhu said actually, if you ask a child, what's a nose? Naak kya hai? The child will never say, oh, the nose is the organ of respiration and the olfactory sense organ. No. Those are just words. What will the child say? Nose, yes. Child will say nose. This is nose. Catch hold of the nose. Similarly, he says, be a child in Vedanta. When Vedanta speaks about the body, notice the body. Okay, body. Vedanta speaks about the breath. That's the breath. When Vedanta speaks about the mind, I can't show it to you, but we can all sense it internally. Mind. Okay. Thoughts, emotions, ideas, desires, memories, mind. Similarly, go beyond that. Vedanta speaks about witness consciousness, Sakshi, Chaitanya. It's a fact right now. As much as the mind, as the breath, as the body, as the world. So keep it real. Naak, nose. I gave a talk in India last year. At the end of the talk, a lady was eagerly waiting to ask the first question. She rushed forward to catch hold of the microphone and say, indignantly, she said, Kothagulo to bhalo, kintu egulo theoretical, all this talk is good, but all this is theoretical. I said, madam, not one thing I said here was theory. It's all a fact, just like this, nose. It's a fact like that. So we must keep it real. Now, keep it real. At one point you will see, we have to notice ourselves. At one point it will not seem real. It will seem theoretical. If it seems real from the beginning till the end, congratulations, you're a Brahmagyani. But if at one point you say, this part I don't get it. This part is theoretical. This part seems like a claim, just seems like words. I don't know what it means. That's where we should start concentrating. I assure you, none of it here is anything more than nose. So take a look. Take a look. I want to draw our attention to this simple fact. And when you're looking right now, we are aware. When I'm seeing, I'm aware. Aware means conscious, is it not? It's the simplest fact. It's like if I hold up a book, if I ask you, what's going on here? You say it's a book. But is it just a book? Or is it that I am seeing a book? This is a more complete description. I am seeing a book. So this awareness, is experiencing a book. This is a more complete description. So whenever we are seeing anything, we are aware. And when we are hearing anything, right now, we are aware. Otherwise you would not hear. When you are smelling, tasting, touching, anything, you're aware. And notice, it's the same awareness. A book is different from, say, microphone. When you see the book, there's a different object, microphone is different object. But the awareness which experienced the book, which saw the book, is also the same awareness which is seeing the microphone. It is the same awareness which is hearing the speech. It's the same awareness which tastes the food and smells the flowers and touches, the seat which you are sitting on. So this awareness is the same. The objects which we are aware of, they keep changing. They are various in nature. The objects are many, awareness is one. Objects are changing, awareness is not changing. There is one awareness in all our seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching. Keep it real, nose. And it is the same awareness which is there in all our actions. When you're walking and talking and driving and working and relaxing and playing, whatever we are doing, isn't it the same awareness present all the time? And in our thoughts, when we think something, when we remember something, when we desire something, when we hate something, when we even think I, all of this, same awareness. What I'm saying is, it is the same awareness in all our sensory experiences, in all our actions, in all our inner thoughts and feelings, our emotions. When you feel delighted, very happy, are you aware or not? Yes. When you feel miserable, when I'm miserable, depressed, heavy, dark, is there awareness or not? Of course, because without the awareness, no feelings, even depression is not possible. So, this awareness is there in all our feelings, good and bad, in all our thinking, in all our memories, and in all our actions, in all our sensory experiences. This one common awareness, this is called the Sakshi Chaitanya, witness consciousness. And this is the Atman which Vivekananda is talking about, the self. Technically, there's a difference. Technically, Vedanta will make a distinction between the witness consciousness, the reflected consciousness, and the Atman. This awareness we are talking about, Vedanta will say, no, it's a slight distinction. It's the reflected consciousness, Chidabhasa. But then Chidabhasa is always pointing back to the self, to the Atman, to Sakshi Chaitanya. It's just directly pointing back. So, now notice something more about this awareness. That it's there in all our experiences, that's one. It is continuously there. Our experiences are coming and going. This awareness is continuously there. It's called Nirantara, without any break. The claim is, I'm just giving you the claim without the arguments. Throughout our waking, throughout our dreaming, throughout our deep sleep, and by extension coma or general anesthesia or whatever, this awareness is there. Just the objects are changing. This is called Nirantara, unbroken. And this awareness is unmodified. Subtle point I'm making. Unmodified means everything is changing. The world is changing, our bodies are changing, our senses are changing, our minds are changing very fast, our feelings are changing. True or not? But all of these changes are experienced by that one unchanging awareness. In Sanskrit, this is called nirvikara. You, the self, the Atman, you're always there as the witness consciousness and you are unchanging. That pure consciousness. And being unchanging, it is not subject to any kind of damage or destruction or trauma. Abhyayaha, undecaying. The body decays, the world changes, our senses become slower, even the mind is affected by the general decline of the body, of ill health, old age. But this consciousness reveals that also. It is itself untouched, untraumatized, undecaying. Notice Vivekananda's example. Body panting in asthmatic attack. And mind quite certain, body will die now. This is my last moment has come. But the mind is calm and observing. How? Because the mind is clear that I am not the body, not the mind, not even the mind. I am the awareness watching this. And this idea has been driven deep into the mind. I am not the mind. This also the mind has to understand. You might say, I am not the mind. How will the mind understand this? Why not? When I say, for example, when I say, I am happy. If I say this, who is exactly saying it? The tongue is saying it. But is the tongue happy or the mind happy? The mind is happy. But the mind cannot say it. The tongue is the instrument by which the mind will speak. Similarly, I am not the mind. But to comprehend this and to make an understanding, what is called a buddhi vritti, you require the mind as an instrument to think. The mind is a thinking instrument. Its job is to think. So it can very well think, I am not the mind, but it's not referring to itself. It's not the mind saying that I am not the mind. The mind is, of course, the mind. But the mind is saying, I means the witness of the mind. I am not the mind. I am the witness of the mind. Or as Vivekananda says, soham, it is going on. It's driven so deep into the mind, it's very clear to him. And he says, if it's driven deep into the mind, it becomes clear to us in the moment of crisis. He says, even at the point of death, his mind was calm. Soham. Body is dying. But I, the Atman, I am fine. And this is a great, great benefit. This nature of the Atman, Shankaracharya sings in Vivek Chudamani. I'll just say that and put this topic to rest and move on to the next topic. In Vivek Chudamani, towards the very end, 499th verse, I think, very beautiful verses there. You know what he says? The self, you are like the sky, rest as the sky, untouched, untainted. You are like the sun, shining sun, rest as the shine light of the sun. You are like the mountain, immovable, unchangeable, rest as the unchangeable mountain. And he says that you are like the sea, boundless. Imagine a boundless sea, a sea without shores. You are like the sea, boundless, rest as the sea. So rest as the sky, taintless sky. Rest as the shining, ever-shining sun. Rest as the immovable mountain. And rest as the boundless sea. What does it mean? Akashavad lepa viduragoham adityavad bhasya vilakshanoham ahadyavad nitya vinishchaloham ambhodevat paravivajjitoham. 499th verse. It says, so start with the second one. I am like the sun, bhasya vilakshanoham. Now he says, like the sun, which is distinct. The sunlight illumines the entire world, but it is distinct from the world. Sunlight, the sun or the sunlight, is not affected by what it illumines. This goes to the Vedantic idea, drashta and drishya, seer and seen, consciousness and its objects, subject and object, they are distinct. They are not the same reality. They are distinct from each other, separate. So you are the witness of the entire universe. You are the illuminer of the entire universe as consciousness. You are distinct from it. If you know something, you are not it. You are the knower. You are the seer. You are the witness. And that means I know the body. Just as I know this book, therefore I am not the book. I know the body. I can see the body. I can touch the body, smell the body, taste the body, and hear the body also. So I know the body. Every sense organ objectifies the body itself. Therefore, I am not the body. Even more powerful, I know the mind. I know the mind means I am aware of the mind. The likes and dislikes, the ups and downs, the reactions of the mind, the feelings, desires, memories, unhappinesses. I know them all, therefore I am not them. Adityavad bhasya vilakshanoham. I am distinct, like the sun shining. I am like the sun. I means the consciousness. See yourself as this ever-shining sun. I am distinct from the body, the senses, and the mind. Therefore, now think of yourself as the sky. Since I am distinct from them, I illumine them, illumine everything in the universe, but I am not affected by the universe. Just as the sunlight falls on dirty water, drain water, does the sunlight become dirty? No. Sunlight falls on the Ganga. Is the sunlight purified by the Ganga? No. Sunlight is untouched, untainted. Similarly, he says, you are like the vast sky, which includes everything in the universe. Whatever appears in the universe, whatever you're experiencing, is just like the sun, like the sky. The sky does not offer resistance to anything. In fact, the sky offers space to everything. You are that light which is distinct from what it illumines, but what it illumines, this entire universe, is not separate from you. It is included in you. You have given it space. All objects, all living beings, all space, time, object, all of it, all of Maya is included, is given space by you, this sky-like consciousness. And he says, Lepa viduragoham, untainted. The sky is not tainted. Whatever happens in the space, sky is not tainted. Sri Ramakrishna quotes another verse from Ashtavakra once. He says, in a room which is full of smoke, the walls will become sooty, dark. But the sky in that room is not affected. Sky will not become sooty. You see, no, it does. That's this atmosphere pollution. Air pollution. Not the sky, not space pollution. Space cannot be polluted. Like that, you're completely taintless. You're not polluted at all. Mind can be affected with guilt. You are not. You are this one shining light, not affected by anything in this universe. And this light is immovable. It is like a mountain. So space seems so empty. Now he changes the example totally. Mountains is completely packed. It's rock. It's huge. It's solid. He says, yeah, because till now you might think light, consciousness, all of this sounds very abstract. Not abstract. One sadhu put it this way. Tasatas bharpur jyo katyo Mahatma ji. Packed tight. This universe is packed tight with Brahman. There is no space for the universe here. Only Brahman exists. Swamiji says he continuously heard this voice. Ekameva dvayam brahma neha nanasti kinchana. One non-dual Brahman. No difference here whatsoever. And he says, I am like the boundless ocean. Para vivarjito aham. Not limited by space, time, object. So, rest like the sky, untainted. Rest like the sun, ever shining. Rest like the mountain, immovable. Rest like the ocean, without limit. Caution. Here, I was reading something else. These are reminiscences of Swami Turiyananda, the disciple of Sri Ramakrishna. His picture is somewhere there. There, yes. Swami Turiyananda, he was a great Vedantin and a disciple of Sri Ramakrishna in his old age. So many people wrote down what he used to say and all that. This is later on in his life. This book is called Jivan Mukti Sukha Prapti. So, I don't think anybody has translated into English this one. I'm not sure yet. But it's a valuable collection. Now, slight caution to what we have said so far. If you're like Vivekananda, we implement it straight away. Because what he knew, what he thought, he would put it into practice immediately. But for all of us, it might not be that easy. So here is a discussion between Swami Turiyananda and Swami Shivananda. Many years later. By that time, Swami Vivekananda had long ago passed away. He says, I'll read the original Bengali and translate. So don't worry, you won't miss anything, but those who know Bengali can enjoy it also. Kathamrita pada holo. The Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, Kathamrita, that was being studied. So Swami Shivananda is there, Swami Turiyananda is there, and so many others. Ek jaygaye Thakur bolchen, in one place Sri Ramakrishna says, Kajer dara take pawa jay ta noy. Through action you can realize God, it's actually not so. Tabe kaj korte korte chitto shuddha hoy, ar tar jonno byakulata ashe. But by doing action, here it means devout action. Puja, seva, japa, and all of that. By doing this over time, the mind is purified and a restlessness for God arises within. Shei byakulata hole tar kripa hoy. When that restlessness for God arises, then God's grace descends on you. Tokhon tar darshan hoy. Then you get the vision of God. Then the vision of God happens. It's an interesting connection. It's not that by our spiritual practice we will be able to realize God. That doesn't happen. But through our spiritual practice, whatever practices we do, the mind is purified. From that mind comes an intense desire for God realization. I really want God. That restlessness from within. That cry of the heart for God. And when that comes, God's grace descends upon you. From that grace comes the vision of God. So, connection. Our sadhana is not the direct cause of the vision of God, but it's not useless either. It purifies the mind. From sadhana comes purification of mind. From purification of mind comes a great desire to see God. So the desire to see God, the restlessness for God, it shows a pure mind. And then comes the grace of God. So even there, without the grace of God, it will not happen. The grace of God is the final condition. After that, God realization. Swami Turiyananda is saying, Omni ektu podle, ektu dhyan korle ki take pawa jay. You just read a little bit, study a little bit, Vedanta, and meditate a little bit, and do you think you will be able to realize God? No. Tar jonno ব্যাকুল হওয়া চাই, প্রাণ আটুপাটু করবে. You must have this restlessness. Your heart will become so restless, it will cry for God. ঠাকুর আমাদের বলেছিলেন, দেখো আমার ব্যাকুলতা ছিল বলে মা সব জোগাড় করে দিলেন. Sri Ramakrishna told us, look, I had this intense restlessness for God. Therefore, the Divine Mother arranged everything. এই কালীবাড়ি ও মথুর বাবু জুটে গেল. This, he says, Sri Ramakrishna, this Dakshineshwar temple, where Sri Ramakrishna was the priest, that means where he worshipped, did all his sadhana, and the landlord Mathur Babu took care of everything. All of these came together by the will of the Divine Mother. If you really want God, everything else will be provided for you. God will provide everything for you. এখানে হৃদয়ে ব্যাকুলতা থাকাই আসল. He points to his own heart and says, this restlessness, this pain, this crying out for God, that's the essential, one essential condition. Doesn't matter how much one has read, how much Sanskrit one knows, what particular technique of meditation one is following, which lineage, what. All those things are very secondary. Intense desire for God realization. তাহলে সব জুটে যায়, then everything will be arranged. ভক্তি ছাড়া উপায় কই? Where is the, without devotion, bhakti, without intense devotion for God, what other way is there? Then Swami Shivananda, who was right there, is this picture here? He was the second president of our order. Swami Shivananda, who was right there, he commented, আবার কি? What else? আবার কি? তার পাদপদ্ম ধ্যান করতে করতে ইন্দ্রিয় সব অন্তর্মুখী হয়ে যায়, মন গিয়ে তাতে তন্ময় হয়. See, he says this. So when this pull comes, restlessness comes, then you feel like meditating on God. You feel like not thinking about anything else, not speaking about anything else. One wants to speak about God, read about God, think about God, and keep the mind on God. Meditation becomes easier because I want it. I really want it. It's no longer an exercise for me. I want it. Then what happens? He says, in your heart, when you meditate on God, indriyo shab antarmukhi hai. Then the sense organs turn inwards. Our problem is, we meditate, but our meditation is a struggle to inwardize because our minds are being continuously pulled outwards. Sit and meditate. Our first question will be, how long? Yeah. One person was joking says, this is Kali Yoga. When you advise devotees to fast, this particular day, one must fast, Ekadashi. The first question will be, what can I eat? What is permissible to eat? So meditate. How long? The one who wants to meditate on God will not ask how long, because it is a delight. It will be difficult to pull that person out from meditation. So, he says, the senses of such a one will turn inwards. They are no longer even interested in seeing other things, hearing other things, interacting with people who are not spiritual. All those things become painful. Then what happens? Mon giye tate tanmay hai. So when the senses turn inwards, the mind is finally able to become one with God, becomes identified with God. Tanmay means completely mixed up, completely focused, completely absorbed. Ram Prasader Katha, Bhakti Shabar Mool. the great Kali devotee and composer of wonderful songs of Kali, which Sri Ramakrishna loved to sing. So Ram Prasad would say, the root of all spiritual progress is bhakti, devotion. Ram Prasad Thakurer ideal, Adorsho. So Ram Prasad was the ideal for Sri Ramakrishna. How? Thakur bolechilen, Ram Prasad ke dekha dili, amake dekha dibi ne. Sri Ramakrishna is to complain to the Divine Mother. You revealed yourself to Ram Prasad. You gave the vision of Kali to Ram Prasad. You will not show yourself to me? Thakurer ebar shikkhay hocche Gyan Mishra Bhakti. So Sri Ramakrishna's teaching, special teaching, is this combination of knowledge and devotion. Gyan Mishra Bhakti. Devotion with knowledge. So, all of this to say, put these two together. What he just said now and what Vivekananda has said. These are two very powerful supports in our spiritual life. I am that. Be fearless. It's all right. Already all right. And also a deep devotion, love for God. Okay, I've had my say. Does anybody want to, you have a question or an observation or anything? Yeah, I can just ask. There's a mic? Then it's, oh, all right. Tell us your name and ask the question.
Namaste, Swamiji. My name is Shakuntala. My question is, what can I do outside of meditation that will help me during meditation?
Yes.
So I do have a meditation practice since a year, but some meditations, actually lots of meditations are not as good as I want it to be. The mind is always jumping around. And so I do pranayama or a shloka or a combination of those. But when I'm not doing meditation and I'm going out and doing my life, what are the practices I can do to improve that?
That's a good question. It's a wise question to ask. We find that meditation is difficult, as you say. Either two things will happen. Either the mind is jumping around and not willing to meditate, and how long do I have to meditate? Or the mind falls asleep. You feel dull and sleepy. These are the two big obstacles. Now, I will recommend, there is a beautiful essay on this, Before You Sit. And you will find it in a book called Meditation According to the Monks of the Ramakrishna Order. It's a wonderful collection by some revered Swamijis of past years. So this is an essay at the very beginning of that book by Swami Ashokanandaji. Swami Ashokananda was the Vedanta Society of Northern California. He was the head for many decades, for many years. So Swami Ashokanandaji's essay, Before You Sit, 10 points are given there. All of them are very helpful. The importance of good company, the importance of keeping up a spiritual tone in the mind throughout the day, so that when you sit in meditation, you don't have to struggle too much. Many, many wonderful advice, including things like, as you said, a shloka, something to catch hold of before you dive into meditation. So that is my recommendation. Please, it's beneficial for all of us. He has given 10 points there. Before You Sit, Swami Ashokananda. And the name of the book is Meditation According to the Monks of the Ramakrishna Order. Then meditation becomes a little easier. But you also said that many of the meditations that you are doing are not good. Now, I have a new slogan. The new slogan is, even bad meditation is good meditation. Why? Because you are meditating. Don't give up. Give yourself full marks for every time you sit down to meditate. So even bad meditation means it seemed mechanical, or the mind just flitted around from here to there, just wasted half an hour sitting there. All right, but don't give that up also. Of course, that's the basic minimum. We shouldn't, Swami has said bad meditation is good meditation, so this is okay, I'm fine with it. No. Every time we should make an effort. I remember it used to be so difficult. This is about 25 years ago. Yes. I was under training as a monastic novice. and they're hot. I was in New York yesterday, day before yesterday. It's the hottest day in New York for decades. It went to above 101. You're in Houston, you'll smile. What is this 101? There were visitors had come from Phoenix. So it's very hot. People are saying, they're saying, no, it's okay. So we are used to 115. But 101, it was, I had just come back from Ireland, which was in the 60s. And then I landed there, and in the airport in JFK, I took a cab. I thought, I have to go, it's really hot today. Got into the cab. One very happy Sardarji was there. He said, AC kharab ho gayi, Mahatma ji. So there's no AC at all. And in 101, we had to keep the windows open. But it's okay. It feels like Delhi or Gurgaon or something. Yes. So, why did I bring this up? Yes. So it was very hot. And there was hot, that was common. 100 plus and high humidity every day. It's not just 2 days in New York after 20 years. Not 20 years. After 40 years, 50 years, it has become like this. What was there yesterday and day before. But in Calcutta, near the Ganga, this was common every day. So early in the morning, you feel very sleepy. And this is 4 a.m. in the morning. So one of our senior monks who observed that, I still remember, the humorous, he would say to us that, of course, it was compulsory. You can't sleep in the bed. Everybody has to go and sit and meditate. But we would fall asleep. We would start dozing off. And he said to us, I'll translate, he said in Bengali to us, "Songe songe ghumiye podo na, ekটু চেষ্টা করো." Don't fall asleep immediately. Struggle a little bit at least. Then you can fall asleep. So bad meditation is good meditation does not mean you'll give up. Yeah. We must hold on. We must try to make it better, but at no point should you stop it. No point. Yes. Do you have the microphone here? You can just pass it down. Tell us your name and ask the question.
Thank you, sir. My name is Abid Chakraborty, and you talked about fear. I want
Not I, Swami Vivekananda.
Yes. Swami, you described about fear, and you gave a very good reflection to our heart in terms of fear. So my question is, what is fear? And to get rid of fear, what I feel is like we know what is going to happen or what is the norm. Any variance to that is fear. So what is the best way to get rid of that thinking about that variance?
Yes. So what is fear? In the deepest sense, in Advaitic sense, the definition of fear is that this is the ignorance of our limitless nature, ignorance of our fearless nature. That actually I have nothing to be afraid of. But I feel I have so many things to be afraid of. Why? Because Vedanta will say you do not know what you are. You do not know your real nature. You think you are this body, you are this person, you're this little creature, this little guy, and so many bad things can happen to you. Therefore, you are afraid. We do not know who we are. That if you truly knew that you are Brahman, if it was a fact that I, Abhik, is truly, I know that I am Brahman, then, Bengali used to, naam sarthak hoye jabe then. The name, we know what the name means, fearless, Abhik. And what a tragedy it is that I, Abhik, I am afraid. My name is fearless, I am fearful. Why? Because I do not know, that Vedanta says we do not know who or what we are. And therefore, not knowing my limitless nature, I feel I'm a limited person. If I'm a limited person, if I'm this person, surely I should be afraid. Because many bad things can surely happen to me. Many bad things can happen to me. Physically, relationship-wise, financially, job-wise, so many bad things can happen if I'm this limited person. But if I'm not this limited person only, this limited person exists. How can you deny it? You can see it. But if I'm something more than this, Am I this limitless awareness appearing and acting in and through this limited person? Yes. As that limitless awareness, you have no fear at all. Nothing can harm you ever. Krishna says, weapons cannot cut you, water cannot drown you, the air cannot dry you out, and fire cannot burn you, and so on and so forth. You are indestructible. Not the body. Body is destructible. I am not the body, mind, that is indestructible. Therefore, this fear comes from, another way of looking at fear is otherness. Something is or someone is there other than me. The French philosopher Sartre, he defined, hell is other people. Hell is other people. But then how do you overcome that? Other people are always there. Will you run away from everybody? Will you stay in a mountain and not look at anybody's face? Is that the way to happiness? That also is not possible. It will be worse. It will become alienated and highly depressed. We are social creatures. How can we stay away from other human beings completely? No. Vedanta's ideal is you will be completely comfortable with other people and completely comfortable when you are alone. I met a monk in the high Himalayas, 10,000 feet in Gangotri. He used to live there all his life. When I went, it was the pilgrim season. A lot of people had come. Children were playing around and the monk was also very happy. I said, Mahatma ji, I'll tell you in Hindi and translate later. Mahatma ji, ab aap khush hain, lekin jab jaade ke mahina mein, you are very happy now. But in winter, you're staying here all year round. We will go away. In Navaratri, when Durga Puja comes, we will all go away. But you will stay. 10,000 feet in Gangotri. Then for the next 6 months, you will not see other human beings for some time. Or maybe some other monks once in a while. Then how do you stay? Now you are happy. But when for 6 months you will hardly see another human face, then how will you stay? Then how are you? And he answered, I still remember, joyful face. He has passed away now. He was a Punjabi, big tall man with long beard. He smiled and he said, अब मैं मजे में हूं महात्मा जी और तब और भी मजे में रहता हूं. I am very happy now, full of joy right now, as you are seeing. But then, when nobody is around, I am in even greater joy then. So that is the ideal of Vedanta. In the midst of people, I am fine. Without any people in solitude, I am even more fine. There are people who cannot withstand other people, they want solitude. There are people who cannot withstand solitude, they want people. Both are not good. You must be comfortable. Often sensitive people, slowly as you become more and more spiritual, you don't want to mix with people. It's true. It's a sign of spirituality. Arati janasamsadi, Bhagavad Gita says, a distaste for the common mass of people. Janasamsada means the marketplace. A distaste for that. That's at the beginning of spiritual life. But in Vedantic realization, when it comes like Sri Ramakrishna, when he would see a crowd, he would be even more inspired. Why? He would see the same. You know what? The example he gave us, beautiful example, is the example of the chandelier. That one. There. Can you see the chandelier? So one light will be there, and it will be reflected in all the glass, the crystal pieces, and it will blaze forth. For the enlightened one, when the enlightened one looks at a crowd, he sees not only this consciousness, but this consciousness shining. Every mind is like a piece of glass there. And there's one central consciousness shining in 100 minds, 1,000 minds. For Sri Ramakrishna, it was joy, joy, more joy to see all of this, the blaze of light all around. Light means consciousness, shining in so many beings, reflected in the eyes of so many beings. So that sense of comfort. Not dependence on human company, but also not this inability to withstand human company. That somebody said humorously, I love humanity. It is human beings that I can't stand. Now that also should not be there. That's a sign of strength. To be comfortable in solitude, to be comfortable among human beings also. Yeah. Start, even if all this sounds very theoretical, start with what Vivekananda says. You start with the result. I am fearless. One thing is, nothing can destroy us. If Vedanta is at all true, if spirituality is true, if any religion is at all true, we have gone through lifetime after lifetime. You're still here. Bodies have come and gone. Swami Vivekananda says, to the Atman, death is nothing. It's like the dropping of one hair from the body. Similarly, how many bodies have come and gone? We are still here. You are there. I am here. That means we cannot be destroyed. Even death cannot destroy us. There's nothing to be afraid of. Another person? Anybody else? Yes, there are two gentlemen here. We'll take these two questions and wrap up.
My name is Ram Manohar.
Yes.
What is the goal of attaining this Brahman? Is it make this world empty, like any other planet, empty planet today, Mars? That?
Yes.
Yeah.
What is the goal? Now, two things. One is, we need not, if the world becomes empty, it's not a bad thing also. You might think, oh my God, what are you saying? From a Vedantic perspective, Brahman alone exists. Yeah. There is emptiness already. Shunyata. Brahman is the only reality that exists. Now you have dreamt up a world. Imagine, you have dreamt up a world, and if somebody comes and says, do you want this to stop? You will say, yes. We must wake up from this. We must wake up from this into reality. This is one answer. The other answer is, one need not worry. It is not our responsibility. It is God's responsibility. Ishvara, Bhagavan. This world will always be full. If 1% also becomes Brahmagyani, attains moksha, there's no problem. 99% are there. They'll keep the world humming along. Everybody attains moksha, then samsara, srishti will come to an end. So there's a story that, people ask, Brahmaji created the universe. Lord Brahma created the universe. Why didn't he create a perfect universe? Why this mess? So there's a story, there's a reason. In fact, Brahma in the first model, beta testing, he created a perfect universe. The first 4 who were created were sages. They're created, they're such perfect sages, they appeared. What is this? They're looking around confused. What happened? Where are we? Who are we? Universe, we have been created. I see, in a body and mind. Immediately they sat down to meditate, became enlightened and free. And the universe came to an end. Brahma thought it did not work. He made everybody sattvic. So they all became spiritual and immediately free. So he said, now he will introduce rajas and tamas, dynamism and darkness. From that time onwards, universe is running happily, not empty at all. It will never become empty. Don't worry. No, it is very, very touching. Today itself, one gentleman was telling me, it is amazing to see the next generation growing up and taking over. If you are of a certain age, suppose you are in your 50s, 60s. Now those you saw as little children, they are growing up. They have got jobs and maybe they'll get married. Now you see them taking over everything. What you were doing, it's surprising at that age. After 10 more years later, you will not be surprised anymore. But at that age, it's surprising. You felt you were in charge of the world. No longer. You're getting old. This is a sign of getting old. You're being pushed out by the next generation, which is good, but also shows the continuous nature of srishti, of samsara. Be happy about it. And then you realize our life stories were not at all unique. Not at all. Same story, same mistakes, same tragedies, same comedies, repeated again and again and again and again by Prakriti, by Maya. Then you realize, you just have to see your own life and the life of your children, your niece, nephew, and if grandchildren. You see how the same thing is being repeated. Then you will realize that I want moksha from this. Why repeat again? Isn't there something higher and beyond this? This silly, unless you do that, Vivekananda says, you will be lifetime after lifetime, you will be subject to coming and going. Repeating the same things. Someone else wanted to, The microphone is... Yes. We'll end with this question.
Namaskaram, Swami. My name is Chandra. I am Brahman, and the whole universe is Brahman. How I can experience Brahman? I am Brahman, subject. How I am experiencing?
Yes. So you're not experiencing right now how we are experiencing anything. We are experiencing a subject object. So Brahman, when it comes into the realm of experience, anubhava, experience, it splits into subject and object. So Brahman experiences itself as the object, and to experience those objects, it becomes the subject. By itself is neither object nor subject. Think, we must say, what is this? How is it possible? And we do it every day in the night in dreams. In our dreams, first of all, what do? We fall asleep. It is the sleep of Maya. Brahman covers itself by the sleep of Maya. Then what happens? We project a dream world, a virtual world, a world of dreams in our own mind. We have forgotten that we are sleeping. Now a dream world appears. What is appearing? What is the dream world made out of? You, the dreamer. The dreaming mind itself appears as the dream world. But not only that, the dreaming mind then appears as a subject in the dream world. See, there are two of you now. You are the dreamer lying down and dreaming. You are also there in your own dream as the person in the dream. They call it Swapna Purusha, as a person in the dream. Now you are subject and object. You will say, oh, what a nice flower. I'm looking at the flower, so nice. The flower is also you. The person who's seeing the flower is also you. Is it not true in the dream? Here also, the idea is exactly the same. One limitless consciousness appearing as a world of objects and itself as a subject embodied. There's a very mysterious statement in the Upanishads. Tat srishtva tadeva anupravishat. Having projected the entire universe, it entered into it. So Brahman, having projected the entire universe, then entered into that universe. Then the Shankaracharya asks a question there. He says, in his commentary, he says, Etat chintyam. This is worth thinking about. All the commentaries are very profound. In that commentary also, if he adds one more, this has to be thought about, then you know that something serious is going to happen. The question is, having projected it. Now, when you project it, you are already it. Because if something is projected from clay, a clay pot, it's already clay is in there. What do you mean clay having become the pot, entered into the pot? How? Already it is there. It's like saying water having become a wave, entered into the wave. How? The wave is already water. The clay pot is already clay. The dream is already the dreamer. But it is like the dreamer having projected the dream world, entered into it. Is it not true? Did you not enter into your own dream world? How does Brahman enter into this world? Having projected this entire world of objects, then it reflects itself. This is Shankaracharya's commentary. Reflects itself in the subject or in one object, making it into the subject. It reflects itself, the reflected consciousness in the mind. Mind, body, everything is part of the world. Even mind is part of this world. But the consciousness reflected itself in the mind. That is the Brahman entering into the creation. Like that. Then it becomes, I am subject, this is object. And yet it is true that the whole thing is Brahman. This is the beauty of it. Kenopanishad says, Pratibodha viditam matam, amritatvam hi vindate. Then what happens? Then every experience is Brahman experience. Every experience is Advaita Anubhuti. Every experience. So in a dream, suppose you want to say, I want to experience the dreamer. Suppose you want to say. Now in one sense, whatever you are experiencing in the dream is the dreamer. You're seeing people, houses, objects, cars, flowers, your own body in the dream. All of this is the dreamer. The dreamer is appearing in all of these ways. Where in the dream world will you find the dreamer? Everywhere. Similarly, to the one who knows, every experience is Brahman experience. Every experience in this world. When you're seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, thinking, remembering. For us, it is mundane, worldly experience. For the enlightened one, every experience is revealing Brahman. Because Brahman is everything. The Buddhists put it very beautifully. I like that phrase. The Tibetan Buddhists. They say, on the primordial ground of being. The primordial ground of being appears the magical display of samsara and nirvana. That same primordial ground of being, Brahman, we'll say Brahman, it appears as samsara to us if we are ignorant about it. If we realize that primordial ground of being, that same thing will appear as nirvana to us. If you say Brahman is available, an ultimate reality, Bodhi, Buddha nature or whatever you call it, say Brahman. It is available only in moksha, only in nirvana. Then what is samsara? Is it other than Brahman? No. Samsara is ignorance of Brahman. The knowledge of Brahman is moksha. Ignorance of the primordial ground of being, Buddha nature, is samsara. Knowledge of that is nirvana. That's what prompted Nagarjuna to make the shocking statement, there is not the slightest difference between samsara and nirvana. It's very shocking for a Buddhist. Because whole of Buddhism is what? To go the journey from samsara to nirvana. Now you're saying there's not the slightest difference, but you must carefully understand, dangerous statement. If I'm in samsara, yes, I'm in samsara. So this is nirvana. No. It is not. One must realize the truth, then it will appear as nirvana to you. Very good. Wonderful. Let me do a peace chant and wrap it up. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Ram